Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the last lesson we looked at states of the granddaughter, and we covered some of the shares or the states that they receive. So we learned that the first four shares are, if there's one granddaughter alone, she'll get half. If there's two or more, she'll get 2/3. If the granddaughters come and there's one daughter also alive, then the granddaughters will share a sixth. If there's more than one, or if there's just one, she'll get a sixth. And if they come and there's two or more daughters alive, then they will be totally deprived. There's actually two more states or shares. So number 5 is where the granddaughter is with a son. And this is when granddaughter comes with a grandson, and they get in a 2-to-1 ratio. And this is where the grandsons who are equivalent or lower. And I'll come on to shortly what that means. And the final state is where the granddaughters are again deprived, and this is where there are sons alive. So whenever there are sons, the granddaughter will get deprived. So if we look at number 5, if we do a few questions, this should become clear. Let's assume that X passes away and he leaves behind a granddaughter. And the way we write granddaughter is actually starting, we write it on 2 levels. So the granddaughter is through the son, as we've learnt previously. So we write al-ibn, the son, and then the granddaughter, a daughter, is called bint. So what this means is you have X, his son, and then the son's daughter. So it's this is daughter, and this is son. So if you picture this on a family tree, you will have X, son, and then daughter. And it's the same way we write it in this manner, because as we go along we'll see that this will show us the various levels and how they compare. So we write it this way, as the further away from the line we are, the further we move down the generations. The closer we are to a line, the closer in proximity to the deceased. So if we extend this line a little bit more, so we have a granddaughter, and we have a grandson. So again, the son, and then below him the grandson. And in this situation where we have son, son, so we've got 2 beneficiaries. We've got this grandson and this granddaughter, and they're both linked to the deceased through the deceased son. In this situation, between them, the grandson and the granddaughter become asaba in a 2-to-1 ratio. So the estate will be divided in 3 shares. The grandson will get 2 shares, and the granddaughter will get 1 share. So this is an example of number 5, where the granddaughter has come with a grandson who is equivalent. By equivalent we mean on the same level as the grandson. Another example would be where the grandson is of a lower level. So if we draw out another example, we can draw again X, and he passes away, he leaves a granddaughter, So this is daughter of the son of the deceased. So this is granddaughter, and he also leaves a he also leaves ibn of the al ibn, and the proper way to say it is as ibnul ibn, and bintul ibn, um, and so this is a great grandson. So um, this will be great grandson. So you can see that this great grandson is actually lower than this daughter, this granddaughter. However, when they come together in this way, they become asaba, and it's a 2-to-1 ratio, just as it was for when they were equivalent in this case. When the grandson is actually lower, then um, he will make the granddaughter into an asaba, and they will get in a 2-to-1 share. So that's what it means by um, number 5, where you have grandsons, they will equivalent or lower, then they will receive a 2-to-1 share. And the final example is where you have a son. So X passed away with a bintul ibn, son, daughter of the son, and he's also passed away with an ibn, which is a son. In this case, ibn gets asaba, and the granddaughter is deprived, so the son gets everything. So these are the 6 scenarios, um, and it's important to remember these 6 scenarios, the shares that they receive. The first, you can remember them in sets of 2, probably the easiest way. The first 2 are related to where there are no daughters and there are no sons or grandsons, these 2. The second 2 relate to when granddaughters come with daughters, and the final 2 relate to when the granddaughters come with grandsons or sons.